Welcome back to Digital Wandering. And this is the Nokia N9 again, which I reviewed, and it's always on display. And I wanted to talk about this feature a little bit more. I mentioned in the previous review video how much I really enjoy this feature, and I wanted to see if I can get it on any other devices that I have, and I was able to do so. So this is a Nokia N9 running the Migo operating system, and I now was able to add this to one of my Android phones. So we have an Android phone here, and this is the Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom from 2017. And again, this is an Android phone. It doesn't support always on display in the settings. So I had to download an app, and the app is called Always On Amoled, and I think it's one of the more popular apps for Always On Display that is in the Play Store. And let's just look at these Always On displays, the different ones. One thing you'll notice right away is the different in time. The Nokia says 1051, and it says 1050. The Nokia is fast. I had to enter the date and time manually on the Nokia. For whatever reason, it doesn't pull the date and time from the internet when it connects. And I was able to connect it to the internet, but the internet connection I mentioned in the previous video, it drops. But when it was connected, it did not update the date and time. So this is still working off of the manual date and time that I entered. So the Asus is the official date and time because I didn't have to enter it manually here. It pulled the date and time from the internet. But okay, beyond that, you'll see that also this one has AM, and it will show PM once we get to that time of the day. But this does not show AM or PM. For whatever reason, the default clock here leaves that out. But it does include the date, and this one doesn't have the date. So those are the big differences here. But this is like the bare minimum that you would see for Always On Display. Normally you'll get other additional information like notification information, battery information, and often weather. So it's a great feature. Why do I like it so much? The main thing is that even when my device is not in use and it's on a table or whatever surface it's on, it's still giving me information. Where a normal phone, and by normal I'm saying a phone that doesn't have always on display, like this, like I've shown previously, the Nokia Lumia 635, it doesn't give you any information when it's not in use and it's turned off. But here I get information from it. The battery issues with always on display depends on the device. With the Nokia N9, where this feature is baked in, I think just leaving it alone and just having it on a surface and just that always on display just running continuously, it will probably last 3 to 4 days. It would be my estimate. This, where it's not baked in and it's the app is not necessarily optimized for this phone. I think user experience is going to vary depending on the device, but I think it will last about a day to a day and a half with the always on display running. And that's despite, now this phone is a much smaller battery. It's like 1,450 milliamp hours. And this is a 5,000 milliamp hour phone. So it definitely affects the battery life. So that's the one thing. If you have to use this feature through an app, the battery life might be really negatively affected by this feature. So that's something to really consider. One thing I also like about this feature is that it reminds me of like back in the day when I used to have an appliance that had a digital clock face. And I'm thinking of things like clock radios, VCRs, DVD players, even other appliances like that you would have like in a kitchen, like an oven or even a microwave would often have that digital clock face. And it kind of reminds me of that when I have these devices around. But one of the things that was a real pain about those devices, this is way before the Internet of Things. These things did not connect to the internet to get that time information. So if there was any type of loss of power, whether a power cord was pulled out of an outlet or if there was some type of electrical failure or a blackout, you would have to reset all those digital clocks on each device, and that was a real pain. Kind of like I had to enter the date and time on this device manually. The Nokia N9, that's what you had to do for every clock, radio, VCR, microwave, or whatever had a digital clock on it back in the day. So we have come so far, because normally we don't have to enter in date and time any longer. As long as it connects to the internet, it gets all that it needs. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about always on displays. Great feature if you can take advantage of it. And hopefully I'll be able to take advantage of it with all the future devices that I get. There's some talk of it coming to future versions of the iPhone, so I'll really look forward to that. But I do want to thank you very much for watching. This is Digital Wandering, signing off.